Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. We are back once again in this very windy environment. So I apologize, the audio is still gonna possibly be very bad, but I'm trying to talk as loud as I can right now so you guys can hear me very well. So if it sounds like I'm screaming, that's because I pretty much am. But I have to be careful because I don't want my throat to get dry in the middle of the video. That would screw the whole video up. But we're out here again with my 2016 Nissan 370Z, and we're going to talk about how reliable this car is at 30,000 miles. So we're going to hop inside the car so I can show you something. So we're going to flip the camera around here, go inside. All right, guys, so this is my 370Z. I'm going to put the car into accessory mode. So you just tap this without putting your foot on the brake. Well, I guess I do have to start it actually to show you the mileage. But my mileage is right here. So we are at 30,433 miles. Now, when I got this car, I bought it at a little under 15,000 miles. I bought it at, I think, 14,000. 680 something or 860 something like that, one of those two. But when I bought this car, it was at 15,000 miles roughly, so I've already doubled that mileage in about 6 months, maybe 6.5 months.
Around current location.
Sorry, this thing auto tells me about the weather. But yeah, I've had this car for 6 months to about 6.5 months, somewhere around there. I bought it in November. But yeah, you know, I've driven this car a lot more than the average person, because I do DoorDash for my job, so I do drive this car quite a bit. It really sucks seeing the mileage go up on this car, but that's the only option I have right now as far as a job is concerned. Yeah, something I wanted to talk about as far as mileage on my car versus mileage in other cars. Road conditions, different types of road conditions. This car has been through a lot of different types of road conditions. I've driven it down dirt roads, gravel roads, very slowly of course, but they have been down those environments. And a lot of Z's usually don't go down those types of environments. So yeah, you know, it's not too good on this car, but I try my best to limit any wear and tear that happens on this car, because I do love this car. It's one of my dream cars, so I definitely don't want it to fail on me, or have expensive repairs. But yeah, also some of those road hazards are potholes too. Where I live, there's a lot of potholes. Maybe not as much as where you might live, but where I live, there's a significant number of potholes. So I'm always having to like dodge those, and it gets a little annoying sometimes because, you know, you think you dodge one and then the rear tire hits one when you're coming back and thinking that you already passed over it. So that's happened a few times. But also something I want to let you guys know is that this car is my only car. It is my daily driver, so I do drive it in whatever conditions are out. So a few months ago, I actually drove it. Well, at the time that you're watching this video, it'll be further back, so about January, February, I believe it was. But there was a lot of snow out, and I tried to drive this car in the snow, and it's absolutely horrible. I was sliding around everywhere, even with a little bit of throttle. So this car has been driven through snow, but I won't do it again because my experience was very bad, much different than the previous Subaru that I had. I did not realize it would drive that bad. But another thing to keep in mind is this car is very bad in the rain too, even with like a very small amount of rain on the road. You know, just a little drizzle that causes the road to be wet. If you give it full throttle, you're gonna fishtail. That happened to me. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But basically the point here is that I've driven my car in environments that it probably wasn't designed to be in. You know, it's my only car once again, so it's just, if conditions are like that and I have no other choice but to drive in it, then I have to do it and hope for the best, basically. Let's talk about, as far as reliability is concerned, is oil changes. Let's talk about oil changes. So since I bought the car in November of 2021, the previous owner did consistent oil changes. I looked at the Carfax, and I wanted to keep those consistent and keep the engine in good health. So about every 4,200 miles to 4,500 miles, I do change the oil. I do use Castrol Edge 5W30 synthetic oil, which is my personal favorite. I've read a lot of good things about it. So that is basically what I've been doing to keep it reliable. That's the only thing I've had to maintain at this point. Just basically the oil. I'm only at 30,000 miles, so I don't have any other real things to really check at this point in time. But I'm sure I will keep you updated if I do need to do that in the future. Now, there was an issue with this car. It wasn't really reliability related, but it might be. It just kind of depends how you want to classify it. But the only issue I had was due to the age of the car. So this is a 2016 Nissan 370Z, and it actually had the original OEM battery in it. And you know, knowing that it's 2022 this year, the car was like roughly 6 years old when I bought it, or close to that. So the battery was not doing too good. So a couple months in, it had problems starting, and it was like really bad problems. You know, you would try to start it, and then it'd take a couple times, and then sometimes it'd just be almost dead. Like, you'd try like 5 or 6 times, and then there was one time where it ultimately just died on me. It was really cold outside, and it was just dead. And I wanted to work that day, but I couldn't. It's probably good that I didn't, though, because it was snowing, so or it had snow on the ground. So, but yeah, basically what I had to do was replace the battery, and I was not really looking forward to that expense, but it needed to be done. But that does just kind of come with the year of the car. So if you are wanting to buy a 370Z, just look at the year of the car, and try to do your best. If you can get a test drive, that's always the best option. But if you can test drive it and you can see the battery, that it's OEM, because the OEM one doesn't have any markings on it. I think it's like almost like a grayish transparent kind of casing on it, but it doesn't have any markings on it. If it has that battery and it's like a 2016, plan to replace the battery basically. But yeah, basically once I dropped in that new battery, everything was fixed, so no issues from that point on. But let's go ahead and continue on my list here. So the car has rock chips in various places from daily driving, but mostly on the front bumper. There's also a few hairline scratches that I don't even know how I got, but they're on the passenger side of the car, so I don't know if I'm like driving by sticks or something. Not too sure. But yeah, this car has been through quite a bit as far as scrapes here and there. I try my best not to, but there are a couple spots. So scrapes, rock chips, because it's inevitable where I live. And yeah, like I said, those hairline scratches, I don't know where they came from, but the paint is not really that good. So as far as reliability and paint is concerned, paint's not really the best quality, so expect some rock chips, because it's bound to happen at some point. In fact, let me go ahead and show you something on the car, those rock chips. Let me shut the car off here. All right, so let me go out here in this wind. Seems like it's died down a little bit, but never mind, I'll just shut my door. But if we go around to the front of the car here, you will see that these rock chips, these really small chips here, these were already here when I bought the car. So that I already bought it like that, so it's fine. There's also a couple things on the wheels. See if I can find one. But there's a couple spots, I think right here is one, where like the finish is coming off or something. And those were already there when I bought the car. And I've got these weird like adhesive marks here and there too. But going to the front of the car, rock chips that I've created myself, pretty much all over the front bumper. There's one right here, a little tiny one spread out that you probably can't see on camera. There's some down here. So rock chips do happen. It really sucks on the Z to see that happen, but they do happen. And then on the driver's side, you should be able to see a scrape there. It's pretty bad. I don't know when I did that or how I did that, but it happened within the first couple months of owning the car. But yeah, just kind of expect those things to happen with your 370Z. But as far as overall reliability on this car, even with the tune that I have on there as well, it's very, very reliable. 30,000 miles is not really that high, but I wanted to make a video kind of showcasing where I'm at on mileage and where it stands today. So yes, it's very reliable. I would highly recommend getting a 370Z. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've heard that it can go way up there in the mileage if you take care of it. So that is my plan with this car. With all that being said, thank you for watching. I'm going to shoot a couple more videos while I'm out here in this very windy environment. It kind of goes up and down on the wind, but yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.